Annalise Dressel of the Health Hub Times Square in Ballincollig joining me on this Monday afternoon. Good afternoon, Annalise.
Good afternoon, Patricia.
And you're very welcome. Let's firstly go to Eileen in Clonakilty. Question for Annalise, please. My 8-year-old daughter has had a terrible week of gastroenteritis. She seems a bit better today, and yesterday things are starting to return to normal. Any advice on how to support her gut health in order to make a full recovery?
So I think probably the best thing really is a probiotic, Patricia, because gastroenteritis is normally a reaction to a bacteria. That's what's caused it. So it can cause a kind of a disruption. Now, it depends if she's any symptoms remaining, if she's still got a bit of stomach pain or if she still has a bit of diarrhea. You could take certain things for that as well. So in terms of the probiotic, she's 8 years old. We have an amazing probiotic. It's a kind of a next generation one, and it's called, it's by Nature's Plus, and it's ProBio Kids, and it's a GI Nutra one. And there's stuff in there for stomach health, there's stuff in there, strains for the immune system. So that would be a very good one for everything. If she has even a small little bit of diarrhea left, that would work very well for that. Otherwise, when you're buying a probiotic, really, it's not about getting one that has a huge amount of like billions in there. It's really more about getting a variety of different strains. And one of the ones that's very good as well for any stomach problems is the Lactobacillus rhamnosus. So the Viridian do one of those. So if you can't get the Nature's Plus ProBio Kids, try and get the Viridian Lactobacillus rhamnosus one. And then if there's any remaining pain, you can get a lovely product called Living Nutrition. We have it here in the shop. I'd say most people would have it. And this one has got in there aloe vera and slippery elm, and that would be a lovely one if there was still a bit of pain and still a bit of, bloating, and if it needed a little bit of soothing and healing.
Okay, what would you suggest for a baby under 1 that suffers from constipation? He's suffered from constipation since he went on solids.
Okay, so that's interesting now, and I wonder, is it just the very beginning? Is it just maybe the rice porridge? It's probably, again, it's, the gut maybe not, the gut takes quite a while, Patricia, to mature and the digestion to start working. So first of all, I don't know how old the baby is, because some people start weaning the babies before 6 months now. So it could be maybe that his little gut isn't mature enough. So again, a probiotic, I think, would help with that. There's a couple of very good babies ones. One of them is by a company called BioCare, and they use 4 different bacteria that they've used in the babies in the Stanford baby trials. So they're very good for kind of stomach problems, colic, eczema. They've put in the strains that have been found to benefit with all of those. So I think you could do that, take a good probiotic for that. And the second thing then that would be very gentle to use would be something called psyllium husk as a fibre. It's very easy to hide. You could, if the baby is on baby rice, you could just literally put in, now for a small tiny baby you'd only want to be using maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon in with the baby porridge. Or you could mix it in if you're doing potato and veggies, you could mix it in with that very easily. And the last thing I'd suggest then would be boil up some water and make some fennel tea. You can buy the tea bags and let it cool down once the water needs to be sterilised, and then give that to the baby in a bottle to drink, because that's great for stomach but also very good for hydrating. So maybe they just need a little bit more water now.
Okay, hi Annalise. Can you take golden milk with methotrexate? It's turmeric, ginger and black pepper.
No problem.
No problem.
Yeah, no problem. So food-wise, really everything is fine to take, because you're never going to be taking it in high amounts enough that would cause problems. You'd want to be taking huge amounts. I think like the turmeric extract is probably about 10 times stronger, so it would be like having 10 teaspoons of turmeric, which wouldn't do anybody any good. So in golden milk, that's absolutely fine. A lot of people find that it's very good for inflammation and for just general health overall. The black pepper helps the turmeric work more efficiently in the body, and the ginger is an anti-inflammatory as well. So it's a lovely way of doing it. I suppose if you wanted to be entirely on the safe side, just don't take it on the day that you take your methotrexate, because you only generally take that once a week.
Okay, here's an interesting one. I got a cold, says a listener, about a month ago, and I lost my taste and smell, which hasn't returned. Any advice from Annalise?
Yeah, this is a very common one since COVID as well.
Is it?
And I lost my taste with COVID as well, Patricia, and I had no symptoms at all. So it was the only way I knew I'd had COVID was that I noticed my taste was gone and didn't come back for ages. So, yeah, it depends on how badly lost it is. I mean, if there's any nose blockage, that would obviously contribute. So I don't know if the nose is fully cleared. If not, you could take a decongestant or use a spray to clear the nose. Zinc is one thing that's really important. Like, it's a sign of zinc deficiency if you don't smell and taste very well. So you could try taking a zinc supplement. I take it alongside a vitamin C as well, just to be sure you can generally get the two of them together. And I try that for a month. And when I was reading and researching up for people with the COVID taste and smell loss, there is a kind of a retraining that needs to be done because it's been gone for so long that the brain actually has to be retrained to smell again. So you do it with essential oils, and you just sniff different essential oils every single day. So I suppose the same would work with various different smells. And again, that's more for now the long-term, long COVID loss of smell. And it requires a retraining. So it's a difficult one. It might take a while for it to come back. So just persevere with the thing.
And very, very annoying to lose your sense, particularly your sense of taste.
Absolutely, because it's just food is for me anyway, it's the greatest pleasure of my life.
Yeah, you just can't enjoy. Yeah, it'd be horrible. Maura says, hi, could you ask Annalise, please? Is it okay to continue taking magnesium tablets after a 6-month course, which I just finished in April? I suffer from cramps in my legs and I had great success with the magnesium. I don't want the cramps to come back if possible. Thanking you in anticipation. Can Maura stay on the magnesium tablets?
Yeah, so normally, Patricia, I'm not a big fan of people staying on things for long term because really we don't know what it ultimately does. But it's in life, everything is risk versus benefit. So if the magnesium is the thing that's helping you prevent getting leg cramps, then the benefit outweighs any risk. But if you wanted to minimise that risk, the biggest thing with taking a large amount of calcium is that it might interfere with your body's ability to absorb calcium because the two of them bind onto the same receptors in the body. So when you're taking a really high amount of magnesium, it'll flood the receptors and the calcium mightn't be able to bind and you might absorb less. So in long term, then you'd be worried about bones. But if you want to avoid that, we'll have most of our calcium absorption done by the end of the day. So I would take the magnesium later at night. So if you take it any time after 8 o'clock, it should have absolutely minimal side effects whatsoever. And most people anyway take it at night for the cramps or for sleep. So
for going to bed, yeah. Any recommendations for somebody who's fibromyalgia? Diet, supplements, exercise, please.
Yeah, that's a program on itself, Patricia. So fibromyalgia is basically a word that is given to people that have kind of multiple pains in the soft tissue of the body, all over the body, and also could suffer from fatigue. My own experience is that most people who've got fibromyalgia also have gut issues, and it's a long-term program to try and resolve it. So at a very basic level, I would recommend a couple of things for the muscle pain. One of them would be natural anti-inflammatory. The one that we often get good feedback on is the Nutri-Advanced Curcudine Forte. It's spelled Curcudyn Forte. And it's a blend of high-strength turmeric extract, ginger extract, and black pepper extract. And it's really, really high strength. So I would try that for the inflammation. Definitely magnesium. Again, I would take a high dose of that. We have one called Mega Mag Muscle Ease. And there's other stuff in there for muscles. So that will help with soft tissue pain and muscle pain. What else? Oh, and a vitamin D. So high-strength vitamin D. If you could do a vitamin D test, it would be great because it could tell you exactly how much you'd need to do. This would be a good time to do it. But a lot of people who suffer from fibromyalgia have been found to be low in vitamin D. And then if you do have IBS, that really is part of the key because a lot of the inflammation comes from there, and that's driving inflammation throughout the whole body. So if you could get help to resolve that.
Okay, Joan in Macroom is a female in her 60s. She said, I have a rotten head cold with a week now. It isn't COVID, but I'm very congested. What would Annalise suggest for a persistent dry cough? It's particularly annoying at night. I've tried every cough bottle on the market, sucking Strepsils, sipping water, and nothing is helping, says Joan in Macroom.
Okay, so my own favourite would the two things. First of all, the Mucotone, because she says she is quite congested, so there is mucus. The Mucotone is like you know it well yourself, Patricia, it's disgusting, but works really well. So it's a blend of herbs that nourish the tissue of the lungs and the sinus, immune-boosting ones, and ones that help with decongesting. So the Dr. Clare Mucotone, Mucotone. And then in terms of the cough bottle, I think the Comvita Manuka Honey Elixir is like a miracle one. So they say when you take that, they suggest you take 2 teaspoons 3 times a day. I don't take it like that. I take it any time I start getting a cough. And I just kind of let it trickle down the back of my throat. And it helps to really soothe all of those inflamed membranes at the back of your throat and in your lungs, on the way down to your lungs, and just prevent you from going into those coughing fits. So it's great to help you get a good night's sleep. So anytime you feel you start coughing, take a half a teaspoon or a little sip of the bottle, and rather than take it religiously. And it's fantastic. I can't really speak highly enough of that as a cough bottle. There's lots of other ones, but for the dry cough, I find that one works the best.
Okay, hi Annalise. Just wondering, would you have any idea what would be causing tingling in my fingers and occasionally up the arm?
Sounds like a trapped nerve to me, Patricia, or else carpal tunnel syndrome. So the trapped nerve, often I get the same thing myself, Patricia, if my back is bad and my neck is bad. So it obviously puts pressure on the nerve going down my arm, and I get that numbness and tingling. And it can be really painful, especially after sleeping. You could even wake up. So the best thing to do really is to go to somebody who can help release that, either a physical therapist, a physiotherapist, or a chiropractor. The other thing it could be is carpal tunnel syndrome, which is where the nerve passageway in the wrist has narrowed because it started getting blocked up. Now that requires surgery. So I would go first and see, can you get assessed for the neck pain? Just go to a physical therapist or a physiotherapist and see, does it make a difference? And if it doesn't, then you can explore the carpal tunnel. And the last reason that you might get numbness or tingling in the fingers would be if you were taking a very high dose of vitamin B6. Women would often take that for hormonal problems, but one of the side effects of that could be tingling, in which case I'd cut the dose of that.
Okay, a listener has a very stressed out 18-year-old, less than a month now to go for leaving cert. Would Rescue Remedy help?
You know what? It does. A lot of people find it very useful. But I think myself, what I would find much better and get better feedback on is something that has a few different things in there to support the body for stress and anxiety. So there is if you can get it in any health shop, the Higher Nature Balance for Nerves is very good. It's a combination of B vitamins, lemon balm. There's L-theanine in there. L-theanine is brilliant around exam time because it's very good for calm and focus. So you can take it to help you study. You can take it if you're anxious going into an exam, or you can take it going to bed at night if you've got the whirling thoughts, busy brain. So fantastic one. And Macanta has a really, really nice combination called L-theanine and L-ornithine complex. That one is great. Or the other one that they do is they do that with magnesium bisglycinate, which is a good one for sleep at night. So you'll probably get those in any health store. And then ashwagandha is a great herb to help increase resilience to stress. So probably a bit late for the exams now, but for anybody who's got exams starting at the end of May into June, maybe more exams in universities, that is a great one for helping to increase your resilience and energy and your ability to kind of retain. So you'll get we sell a lot of the Stress Vida here because it's a really nice product, but Macanta, they also do an ashwagandha. Like there's lots of brands, Viridian, so you'll be able to get those in any health store. So for this young lad, I would definitely recommend the L-theanine and the ornithine complex taken in the morning when they come home for lunch before the next exam, and then maybe again before they go to sleep or before they study at night, just to calm the brain. And then take the Rescue Remedy with you, and you can take that because you can spray that onto the tongue. So you can take that into an exam with you, and if you feel panicky rising, you can take that straight away, and that can help as well.
It does calm. Okay, listen, thanks as always. We'll chat to you next week, Annalise.
Thanks, Patricia.
Thanks
Bye.
for that. That's Annalise Dressel of the Health Hub, Times Square in Ballincollig.